dad of my boys that farm with me, and my dad's also farming. He's farming this year yet. My great-grandmother's family were the first ones to settle on where our home site is, and then she married my great-grandpa, so he would have been the first Grimm. So that was generation 1 of the Grimm farm. I'm 4th, and then I have 7 boys that are the 5th generation on our farm. Our farm name is G3 Organics, LLC. Stands for 3 generations of Grimm is what the G3 stood for. My brother-in-law was one of the first ones around here to farm organic, and so I'd watched him farm organic for a number of years before we started. And then when my oldest son wanted to start farming, we were looking for a way to bring in my sons to the farming without having to add as many acres. And so that was the main reason, and the other thing was just soil health was our other big reason.
So Grain Millers was started in the 1980s. Our Marion, Indiana facility was first certified with Oregon Tilth in 1990 and was the first Grain Millers facility certified with Oregon Tilth. We've built our business really on relationships, and so our procurement department is very involved with our growers and the relationships that they build. So we are an outlet for our local farm community as well, to be able to take their grain locally and sell it here to our plants and be part of that organic process.
So once, when I checked into it, seeing we needed to certify, I have other friends that have been using, multiple different certifiers. And so that's kind of why I chose Oregon Tilth. And so it seemed like they were kind of ahead of the curve as far as doing stuff online instead of all with paper. Gave them a call, they gave me contact, and we set up an account and went from there. So it was, pretty seamless, I would say.
So within the QA and food safety departments, they are the ones filling out the different forms that Oregon Tilth needs to have filled out for our organic audits. They're managing the organic systems at our plants and making sure that we stay in compliance with the different USDA requirements under the National Organic Program. They work with Oregon Tilth when we need to add an ingredient to our facilities or add a new product to our certification list. They work with the incoming trucks and programs and things like that to make sure that our incoming records are correct and match, and help our teams that are bringing the grain into our facilities.
I feel like we've always been informed ahead of time what the requirements are. If I had any questions, I just called in and somebody from the team would let me know what we need to do different or what we need to change as far as getting ready for audits and stuff. As far as, keeping track of stuff, when we were farming conventional, we had to keep track of the chemicals we use and stuff like that. Now it's keeping track of your manure that you're buying, where you're selling stuff. So basically when we have our seeding plan for the year, then I call up to grain millers and tell them how many acres of oats we plan on planting the following year of organic and of transition. Then we write a contract on that, and then when we have our production, we haul it up to St. Ansgar. Yeah, when we started farming organic, when we were farming conventional at the time, before we certified, we were on 24-row or 60-foot equipment. And we had a decision to make. Almost everyone in the area was farming with 16-row or smaller equipment, because that's all that was made by commercial manufacturers as far as cultivators, rotary hoes, tillage equipment. So I had a brother-in-law that had built some prototypes, and we followed them as far as the cultivators. We started building all our own so we could stay on 24-row. So we built one of each that first year, and then kind of every winter since then we've added, built 1 or 2 more. And another thing, nice about this is we're basically buying 40-year-old equipment and cutting it apart and rebuilding it into new equipment. So basically recycling equipment also. And also end up with a product that you can't buy anywhere, and just helps us a lot from efficiency. So.
As the industry grows, we expect to grow with it, and we want to be the partner who's here for our customers and the go-to on organics, where as customers want to grow their organic base, we're here. We work with the growers to continue to grow their organic side of their businesses.
I see the organic industry evolving as that everybody's going to be farming organic. In the last, I would say, 10 years, a lot of my generation has had larger families, and a lot of them kids want to stay here. And so in order to do that, there's been a lot of families go to organic. And so the acreage in organic in this, within a 30, 40 mile area here has grown tremendously.
I think for others who are starting the journey to certification, really work with Oregon Tilth. They've got great resources. They assign you a specific team within Oregon Tilth to work with, so you know exactly who to go to. Their website has a ton of resources to use, whether it's the organic system plan documents, any warehouse documents you need for your outside warehouses. It's all there. Everything is spelled out exactly what you need to use.
So I guess my advice for going organic is make sure that you don't have a summer hobby. So don't plan on being on a boat or on a resort in the summer. It's 100% dedication, but there's a reward to that. Like I said, you can make more on less acres, and it's a good feeling. It's a way of life, but it is a way of life. It's not something you just do because it sounds good. You have to be dedicated. So I guess my hopes for the next generation is that they'll be able to, financially be able to keep farming, to have the lifestyle that I had, and that's my goal, is to not be the last generation farmer.